Well, hello again. I'm back here to talk about, you guessed it, American domestic politics. Let's just say this week had a beautiful landing, or I should say last week, actually. To be fair, it was last week. During the primaries they had, was it New York and several other states around the country? Well, it turns out the Mondami brand of politics is very effective. What a novel concept. You want to know why? Because he's actually delivering for the city of New York. He showed that a politician, if they want to do something, they can do it. He accomplished so much in the last 6 months of his first term as mayor. He's only been in office for a year. He accomplished most of the last 6 months of his term this year. 6 months accomplished a whole bunch of things, whether it was fixing roads and bridges, dealing with public safety, cleaning up the subways, childcare. What a novel concept. And look at how well he communicates these issues. Are any other politicians doing that? I'm just wondering. Anyone in the Democratic Party even communicating remotely as well as Mondami right now? No, I hear crickets. So the party establishment's going to cry boo hoo, boo hoo, boo hoo. Well, here's the problem. We're fed up. You guys don't deliver. You guys don't deliver. You sit here and make excuses for getting nothing done. Even when you have trifecta power, this was it called, the suffocation of incremental progress. We all know what's going on now. The corporate donors have hijacked both political parties. We know this now more than ever. And I've already said this. The presidency of Donald Trump, a second term, was going to reveal who all these people really are. Okay. So I got news for y'all. The Mondami wing of the Democratic Party is now raising the bar of populism. And I saw his interview the other day with a reporter. He destroyed that reporter. That reporter kind of deflect, constantly get him, trying to get him to say he's going to change the Constitution so he can run for president. All this craziness to make this guy look bad, and Mondami destroyed him because you know what he focused on? Working class issues. You know what most people care about? Working class issues. This culture BS, this conquer and divide, like one of his views on Israel and all this stuff. Well, guess what? He's absolutely right to bring up the fact that our taxpayer money is funding a genocide in Gaza. We all know that. So the media, naysayers, and the establishment say whatever the hell they want. We can see through the BS right now. And it turns out his energy of politics is working, his influence. He's endorsed, most of the people he endorsed in New York won. That's a red flag for the establishment right now. Okay. They won. He endorsed 3 congressional candidates. One was an open seat. That lady easily cleared the field, won by 20 points. It was Claire Valdez, a state legislator who ran for an open seat, even though the incumbent congresswoman of that seat resigned and endorsed the the president of the city borough city council. That person lost by 20 points to Claire Valdez. Okay, because of Mondami's endorsement. Um, 2 incumbents lost re-election in one night in New York. Okay, 2 incumbents in Congress. One who was the leader of the Hispanic Congressional Caucus. He's in office about 10 years. He just lost re-election to another lady. I can't pronounce her name. Something Shivani. I don't know. See, anyways, and she was probably one of the most radical of the Democrats that ran. I mean, she was pretty radical. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I'm okay with the radicalness. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere because most of the government's not gonna go that far left. I know she's talking about closing private prisons and all this stuff. Some of these people have views to the left of me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, but personally, I don't care as long as they care about working class issues and they're fighting for the issues I care about. I'm okay with it. We can have a debate about some of their radical views that we don't agree with. But here's the thing, people just want fighters. They're tired of the BS. They're tired of the establishment kowtowing to the foreign policy elite, the tech elite, the private industries, the private equity firms, all this stuff that's destroying our quality of life as working class people. American people just want fighters. And I said this a week prior to these primaries. I said the voters are waking up. They do not want any more pro-war, pro-Zionist politicians who are going to continue to peddle the status quo that has got our country to this point. Okay, I told you the buck is up. And if you guys think it's going to stop in New York, I got news for you. The next batch of primaries coming up in Colorado, you guys are going to see what happens. The next primaries coming up in St. Louis, Missouri, with Cori Bush running for Congress again. I'm willing to bet she's going to get elected to her old seat again. Okay? And I want to remind people, everything that Congresswoman said 2 years ago rings true today. And I knew she was correct because I already said, if Trump gets reelected, the Democratic base is going to wake up. The independent voters are going to wake up. And they're going to realize they were conned and lied to by both political parties of the establishment. And Donald Trump was going to be this wrecking ball that was going to destroy this country so bad, voters were going to be desperate for a populist uprise. Because at the end of the day, people are starting to realize class solidarity is the key to success. Cut through the noise and the clutter and the BS culture wars. It's all a divide, distract. That's what all this is. It's to divide us and distract us, to keep us from getting progress. Voters are waking up to that. I predicted this was going to happen. And what happened in New York, that's just a couple elections I mentioned. There was another one. An incumbent lost by 32 points to a district attorney. Main message was, we don't want to fund any more money to Israel. What did the incumbent kept saying? I'm pro-Israel, and he kept talking about how he wouldn't endorse Mondami. Well, I guess that bit him in the butt, didn't it? Because guess what? When he needed that support, a mayor who gained all the popularity endorsed somebody else to run against him, and guess what happened? That person defeated him by 32 points. Okay. So voters are just tired of the crap. You know, and it was I think it was 5 other legislators that Mondami endorsed. All of them won. 5 incumbents in the state legislative branch in New York lost re-election to primary challengers endorsed by the mayor of New York City. Just saying. Populism's a real thing, especially populism of the left. So now I tell people, stay tuned. The Tea Party of the left, it's only going to get stronger. It's not going anywhere. And the establishment can scream and fret all they want. We don't care. We're done. We're tired of being brainwashed and told to sit down and shut up and wait our turn and let the adults in the room fix everything. We've seen what the adults did. We see what the adults have done. Not a whole lot. As they submit their power to the elite and the powers to be, who are destroying our quality of life. We see through it now. The buck is up. And it's not just people like me out here just being a radical nonsense talker. Millions of people are starting to feel the way the rest of us are feeling. And you're starting to see that reality. And it's only going to continue. Because it's time for us, as the people, to take our government back for us. To start electing elected officials that actually want to make the quality of our lives better. The nonsense, we're done with the nonsense. We're done. And I told people this was going to happen. And this is just the beginning. All right, y'all. I'll see you later. Have a great night. Goodbye. Love y'all. Good night.